Alright, Dennis Schramm has put down a 127.662. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that WSC60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
First flying lap for Anton Stamov, hitting 133.424. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
With just 101 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Mr. Bang has a best lap time of 130.848. Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
Wayne Pearson's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 131.427. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Mr. Bang posted a 131.513 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Anton Stamov posted 129.260 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Alright, Klansky has put down a 128.188. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that WSC60 Ferrari Dino 206S.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Superman's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 128.453. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
There's the first flying lap for Dennis Schramm, hitting 127.941. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Ever heard the pit crew chat about wheel camber? Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the road. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
With just 94 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Sunrider is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Kyalami 1967.
Wayne Pearson's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 130.202. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Sunrider is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting their racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Anton Stamov posted a 1:29.486 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 1:29.657. Dennis Schramm posted 1:27.489 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly, Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Watch as Sunrider takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything, the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Alright, Klansky has put down a 1:27.312. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that WSC60 Ferrari Dino 206S.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Wayne Pearson crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:30.221. They're getting to grips with Kyalami 1967, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Sunrider has a best lap time of 1:28.660. There's the first flying lap for Dennis Schramm, hitting 127.523. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Sunrider's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 128.840. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
With just 86 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
Renault 99 posted 129.918 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Dennis Schramm posted a 127.378 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 129.657. Anton Stammer has a best lap time of 128.259. Klangski's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 6:07.766. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
There's the first flying lap for Dennis Schramm, hitting 127.626. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
Oi, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
Lars Hamp is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the WSC60 Matra M630 BRM's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Wayne Pearson's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 137.839. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Lars Hamp crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking at 131.066. They're getting to grips with Kyalami 1967, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
And there's not Clinton Kakaten, easing out onto Kyalami 1967. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this out lap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
With just 77 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Sunrider has a best lap time of 1:28.215. Clang Ski posted 1:28.252 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
Sunrider posted a 1:28.190 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Superman has a best lap time of 1:28.036. Richard Rossier's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:27.923. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Alright, Dennis Schramm has put down a 1:28.021. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that WSC60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
There's the first flying lap for Renault Per 99, hitting 1:27.730. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Anton Stamoff crosses the line with their first fly, clocking a 207.865. They're getting to grips with Kyalami 1967, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
Mr. Bang posted 135.387 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 68 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. D-Max has a best lap time of 1:30.848. Anton Stamoff has a best lap time of 1:28.259. Mr. Bang's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:36.095. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
There are just over 65 minutes left in this practice session. The anticipation is high as the drivers line up for the qualifying session at Kyalami 1967. It's a dominant performance from Sunrider in this qualification session. They have shown exceptional form and are leading the way. Their confidence is shining through, and they are proving why they are considered one of the best in the business. A solid qualifying performance by Infinity, positioning them in 9th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Infinity's current position of 9th is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
An outstanding display from Richard Rossier in this qualification session. They have been on fire, putting in blistering lap times and currently sitting at the top of the leaderboard. It's a statement performance, showcasing their speed and determination.
You're spot on, Rob. Richard Rossier is showcasing exceptional skill and consistency in this qualifying session.
Richard Rossier has completed their outlap. Richard Rossier has completed their outlap. Incredible drive by Klangsky so far, earning him 6. Klangsky has completed their outlap. A strong showing from Vakal Hyper as they currently sit in 7th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Vakal Hyper has positioned themselves well in 7th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their...
Vakal Hyper has completed their outlap. Impressive work from Renoper 99, who has claimed 10th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. Renault 99 has completed their outlap. There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. Richard Rossier has just completed the lap in 1:26.538. Their best lap so far is 1:26.538, putting them in P1. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? There are just over 15 minutes left in this qualification session. Dennis Schramm has just completed a lap in 1:26.885. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Currently in 9th, Mr. Bang has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position. Mr. Bang has completed their first flying lap in 1:31.479. What a sublime effort by Richard Rossier in qualifying. They have taken charge of the session, holding the top position with authority. Their consistency and skill have been unmatched so far, and they are positioning themselves for a favorable starting position.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Richard Rossier is currently in a dominant position, setting the standard for their rivals. Their consistent and impressive performance is setting them up for a strong starting position.
Richard Rossier will be happy having put themselves into first in this qualifying session. Superman has put in a great effort and currently holds fourth. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Superman has just completed that lap in 1:27.726. Their best lap so far is 1:27.726, putting them in P4. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? It's an impressive showing by Infinity, currently in 5th. With Infinity now sitting pretty in 3rd, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
A solid performance from Renault 99 as they currently hold position 9. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Absolutely, Rob. Renault 99 has put in a remarkable effort to secure 9th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
With Renault 99 clocking a 1:28.087, they've got themselves a mountain to climb, stuck in 6th.
They're not out of the fight yet, Rob, but it's going to take some serious wheel work to make up that gap. The clock's ticking, and they need to make every lap count from here on out.
Impressive display by Klangsky, currently sitting in position 4. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push. It looks like Klangsky is making a statement, securing a spot in 3rd.
Yep, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up.
Sunrider has secured a respectable 5th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? It's a stellar performance from Infinity, clinching 2nd.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
A disappointing performance from Wayne Pearson so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 11th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result. A solid qualifying performance by Infinity, positioning them in 2nd at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Infinity has positioned themselves impressively in 2nd. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Disappointing performance from Vikal Hyper in this qualifying session. Currently in 13th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. I'm thinking Martin Tuib could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 1:27.751 isn't cutting it for 7th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
A tough qualifying session for Not Clinton Kakadam. They're currently mired in 12th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. Not Clinton Kakadam has just completed a lap in 1:28.312. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. It's been a challenging day for Vikal Hyper in qualifying. They currently sit in 13th position, which is not reflective of their true potential. With the session nearing its end, they'll need to push. Vikal Hyper's last lap at 1:31.792 has them languishing in 13th. Time slipping away, and they need to find some magic on the track.
Absolutely, Rob. It's crunch time, and they've got to push that WSC60 Porsche 960 beyond its limits if they want to claw back into the top 5.
A strong showing from Not Clinton Kakadam as they currently sit in 10th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Wayne Pearson so far. They find themselves in 12th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Wayne Pearson is currently facing a challenging situation, but they have the skills and experience to tackle it head on. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and push themselves to the limit to turn things around.
Wayne Pearson might need to rethink their setup. That 1:29.344 isn't doing them any favors in 11th. Maybe tweaking the downforce for better grip could shave off a few precious seconds.
I agree, Rob. A bit more downforce on those corners at Kyalami 1967 could make a world of difference. But they'll have to be careful not to sacrifice too much top speed on the straights.
A challenging session for Anton Stamoff so far. Anton Stamoff has completed their outlap. And there goes Dennis Schramm, currently in position 3. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. There's a real buzz in the air as Dennis Schramm secures second.
Right you are, Rob. They've put themselves in a solid spot, but they can't let up now. Staying smooth and focused is key to shaving off those extra fractions.
A tough outing for D-Max in qualifying today. They currently sit in 16th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Seems like Not Clinton Kakadam struggling to find the sweet spot with their WSC60 Chevron V8 FBA. Sitting in 10th with a time of 1:28.204, they might want to consider adjusting the suspension setup for better handling.
Yeah, tuning the suspension could improve cornering stability, Rob. It's all about finding that balance between agility and stability on a technical track like this.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. The Cal Hyper's clocking in at 1:31.372 isn't turning heads just yet. They're holding on to 15th, but with time running out, it's now or never.
They've got the skill, Rob, but they need to translate that into lap times. It's time to throw caution to the wind and go all out.
It's been a challenging session for Raimo Pedersen. They're currently languishing in 17th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Raimo Pedersen is facing a tough challenge, but they are known for their fighting spirit. This qualifying session is a test of their character, and I believe they have what it takes to overcome.
Raimo Pedersen has completed their outlap. Not the ideal start for Cal Hyper in this qualifying session. Currently in 15th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance.
Absolutely, Rob. The Cal Hyper is facing a challenging situation, but they have the skill and determination to turn things around. It's not over until the checkered flag, and they still have a chance to improve their result.
What a performance from Infinity. They currently occupy 3rd on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot? Infinity will be happy having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session. A tough qualifying session for Raimo Pedersen. They're currently mired in 17th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. Raimo Pedersen has completed their outlap. It's an impressive showing by Infinity in qualifying. They have set the bar high, leading the way with their exceptional performance. It's a fantastic position to be in, and they will be looking to convert it into a strong race result.
Well said, Rob. Infinity is truly in a league of their own in this qualification session. Their dominant display is a testament to their talent and determination.
Impressive work from Not Clinton Kakatan, who has claimed 10th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Absolutely, Rob. Not Clinton Kakatan has shown great potential to secure 10th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Disappointing performance from Patrick Schwanz in this qualifying session. Currently in 11th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race. A dominant display by Infinity in this qualifying session. They have put in a stunning lap time and find themselves at the top of the leaderboard. The other Infinity's really showing what they're made of, landing in 1st during this nail-biting session.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about precision and nerve in qualifying. Every millisecond can make a difference on the grid. Let's see if they can squeeze out even more speed.
It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Raimo Pedersen so far. They find themselves in 17th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left. Not Clinton Kakatan's latest lap at 1:28.116 isn't cutting the mustard. They're sitting in 10th, which means there's a fair bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, Rob, it's a decent time, but in this game, decent won't get you to the podium. They'll need to dig deeper and find some extra pace.
It's been a struggle for Cal Hyper in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 15th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid.
I completely agree, Rob. The Cal Hyper is in a difficult position, but they have the opportunity to analyze their performance so far and make the necessary adjustments. It's all about regrouping and giving their best shot in the remaining time.
Looks like Vikal Hyper needs to put the pedal to the metal. That last lap times landed them in 15th, not where they'd want to be, especially with the session ticking away.
True, Rob. It's all about incremental gains. Every tenth of a second counts, and they've got to squeeze every bit of performance out of that WSC60 Porsche 906e.
Currently in 6th, Superman has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. With Superman now sitting pretty in 5th, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn.
A tough outing for Patrick Schwanz in qualifying today. They currently sit in 11th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result.
You're spot on, Rob. Patrick Schwanz has had a tough time in this qualifying session, but they shouldn't be counted out just yet.
Patrick Schwanz has some work to do as that 128.380 is only good enough for 11th. A challenging session for Raimo Pedersen so far. They're currently in 17th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result.
Well said, Rob. It's certainly not the result Raimo Pedersen was aiming for, but this is motorsport, and anything can happen. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and seize any chance that comes their way to improve their position.
Not the ideal start for Patrick Schwanz in this qualifying session. Currently in 11th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance. It's been a challenging session for Raimo Pedersen. They're currently languishing in 17th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Raimo Pedersen is currently facing a challenging situation, but they have the skills and experience to tackle it head-on. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and push themselves to the limit to turn things around.
Raimo Pedersen has completed their outlap. Raimo Pedersen has completed their outlap. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Kyalami 1967, as we're getting ready to get things underway. Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for Infinity to take control of the race.
But they can't let that advantage go to waste. They will need to stay focused and keep their eyes on the prize.
Richard Rosier is second.
Big things expected for Richard Rosier today.
At third, we have the one and only Dennis Schramm. Watch out for Klang Ski, starting from the fourth grid position in today's race. In the fifth position, we have Superman ready to tackle the race ahead.
It's like they're on the outside looking in. Can they make their way to the front of the pack?
Sunrider is lining up sixth.
Sunrider will have wanted a better start than sixth.
Sitting in seventh is Martin Tuib. Starting from the eighth position, Renopa 99 will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. Our ninth place starter, Lars Hamp, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
Starting from 10th on the grid is a good position for not Clinton Kakaten to launch an attack.
Who knows? They could be the dark horse that steals the show.
Patrick Schwanz will need to be on top of their game starting from 11th on the grid. Starting from 12th on the grid is a tough ask for Anton Stamov, but they're up for the challenge.
Anton Stamov will be hoping for some good points today.
Wayne Pearson is in a solid position starting from 13th on the grid.
Where can Wayne Pearson put that WSC60 Matra M630 BRM?
Mr. Bang may not be starting from pole, but they're still in with a shot. Ripper, the flag is up and the race has sprung to life. Who will be the first to pen their thesis on racing dominance?
It's all about keeping a level head and finding the groove. Like dancing to a country tune, one misstep and you're two-stepping right into trouble.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. Now, isn't that a sight? Dennis Schramm hanging tight at 3. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one.
I'm looking forward to this one run and we'll see a return to form for Dennis Schramm in this outing in South Africa.
Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position?
Like we say in North Carolina, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Maybe Sunrider is keeping their pace steady for now, waiting for the right time to make a splash.
So Dennis Schramm's decided to play it cool, eh? Holding on to 3 like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
What a beautiful day for racing here at Kyalami in 1967. This is going to be good to watch.
Gee whiz, Raimo Pedersen's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
Crikey, Raimo Pedersen's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 10th. The adrenaline is pumping as Klang Ski gets within striking distance of Dennis Schramm in their race for 3rd.
It's a battle for position as Klang Ski tries to make a move on Dennis Schramm. This is what racing is all about.
Lars Hamp is in 15th and is being closely chased by not Clinton Kakaten, who is just 0.2 seconds behind. Gee whiz, Patrick Schwanz is breathing down Vakal Hyper's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Vakal Hyper's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. Alright, hold your horses. Renopa 99 is really putting the heat on Anton Stamov. If I were Anton Stamov, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. Who will come out on top? This is racing at its finest.
Oh, this is getting intense. Not Clinton Kakaten is just behind Wayne Pearson.
At this rate, not Clinton Kakaten and Wayne Pearson are so close, they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Mr. Bang is proper nipping at Vakal Hyper's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. It seems like Mr. Bang is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Mr. Bang refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
On a lighter note, if I could eat, I'd go for some of the trackside snacks right about now.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, my digestion is a real mess.
Is that what the smell is? Things are heating up as Klangski closes in on Dennis Schramm. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
Should things go south between Klangski and Dennis Schramm, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
With that gap, Anton Stamov's practically drafting off Renault 99, eh?
Exactly. They're so close, it's like they're sharing the same race line. Renault 99 needs to get the lead out, Rob, otherwise their backside is gonna look like the Japanese flag coming over.
It's a game of inches now as Klangski tails Dennis Schramm closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. It's an intense battle for position as Renault 99. Oh no, what's this? Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Seems like Infinity's off-roading it. You know, like my attempts to adult. All over the place.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Klangski is breathing down the neck of Dennis Schramm, not giving him any room to relax.
If Klangski gets any closer to Dennis Schramm, they'll need to start sending out wedding invitations.
Buckle up, not Clinton Kakatan is all over Lars Hamp like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that not Clinton Cockadon must be laser-focused on Lars Hampa's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
The intensity is off the charts as Martin Tuip hounds Superman, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Here's some action. Dennis Schramm's tailgating Sunrider so close, it's like they're sharing the same set of wheels as they near the S's.
With the way Dennis Schramm is stalking Sunrider, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
It's a thrilling pursuit as not Clinton Kakatan is right behind Lars Hamp, keeping the pressure on for 12th place. If Lars Hamp can keep this up, they deserve a cold one after the race.
Agreed. It may be the sweet taste of victory, or help ease the loss.
Talk about pressure. Lars Hamp is caught in the middle, feeling the heat from both not Clinton Kakatan and Mr. Bang. Sunrider could be looking for a way up the inside of Dennis Schramm.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
Hold on to your hats. Not Clinton Kakatan is gunning for Mr. Bang. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
Should things go awry, not Clinton Cockadon and Mr. Bang might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
That's right. Mr. Bang is determined to pass not Clinton Cockadon and secure a higher position.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. Hold on to your hats, folks. Sunrider is right on the heels of Dennis Schramm, and we're in for a wild ride.
If Sunrider pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Seems like Mr. Bang is getting in range of Lars Hamp. This is what it's all about, folks. Martin Tuip is in hot pursuit of Superman, who's just trying to stay ahead.
If things go wrong between Martin Tuip and Superman, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
Blimey, Sunrider is closing in on Dennis Schramm like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Sunset Bend.
Sweet Caroline, Sunrider's giving Dennis Schramm a hard time. Can't wait to see what happens when they hit Sunset Bend.
Oi, Sunrider's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curves smoother than a croc sliding into water. Dennis Schramm's got a battle ahead. Infinity is locked in, mate. It's like watching a kangaroo chasing down the last bit of green in the outback. Every move is calculated, every turn precise.
You said it, Rob. Over here, it'd be like a quarterback eyeing that end zone in the final seconds. Infinity is hungry for that top spot, and you can feel it.
The action is non-stop as Martin Tuib shadows Superman through every twist and turn, determined to claim 6th.
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Martin Tuib's been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grips better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Superman.
This is what racing is all about. It's anyone's game at this point. Who will come?
Incident alert. Blimey, DMAX has just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burnt.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. DMAX just made a doozy of a blunder.
The crowd is on its feet as Sunrider chases down Dennis Schramm through Lukov Bend.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Sunrider and Dennis Schramm, though I'd
hold that thought, hold the phone. Well, Mikhail Hype is spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map, or a therapist. No room for error here. Martin Tuib is breathing down the neck of Superman, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
It's a battle of nerves now. Who will make the first mistake? Martin Tuib or Superman? This is high stakes racing.
Crikey, Martin Tuib is losing touch with Superman quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. It's a close race between Sunrider and Dennis Schramm in 4th. The gap between Sunrider and Dennis Schramm is widening. It's now up to 2.3 seconds. Mate, Sunrider's really giving it a burl out there, ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
Look at that gap. It's smaller than the difference between Vegemite and Marmite at this point. Infinity in 2nd is giving the leader no room to breathe.
Mate, it's so close. I reckon Infinity can tell what brand of deodorant the leader's wearing. The next few laps are going to be pure, unadulterated racing magic.
Infinity appears to be losing ground on Richard Rossier. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Crowthorne Corner and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what Wayne Pearson is doing to Mr. Bang right now, doesn't it?
You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
And let's not forget about the incredible machines themselves.
Absolutely. It's amazing to think about the kind of engineering and innovation that goes into making these vehicles. But it all comes down to the drivers, who have to be able to handle the power and speed. It's going to be thrilling seeing how this race turns out.
Good day, viewers. If you're just tuning in, you've picked a ripper of a moment. Infinity is in second and they're tailgating the leader. This is edge of your seat stuff.
You bet, Rob. It's like the leader's got a drop bear in the rearview mirror, lurking, waiting for that perfect moment to drop. Infinity is surely smelling opportunity here.
It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Martin Tuitt can catch some shade behind Superman, F?
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit. You can see that car bouncing around as they ride the curves. It's a risky move that could end in disaster.
This is like the state of origin for Infinity, going full tilt, gunning for the top, and not holding back.
And on my end, it's the Super Bowl vibes all over. Inches away from glory, and every move counts. Hold on to your hats, folks. This is racing at its finest.
Infinity's falling behind Richard Rossier at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. Klangski has just put in a faster lap than Infinity, so that's going to give them something to worry about.
Yeehaw, Klangski just lassoed that.
Hold on a second, oi. Lars Hamp tried to pull a Steve Irwin and wrestle with the track limits. Track 1, Lars Hamp 0.
Whoa Nelly, looks like Lars Hamp has been watching too much NASCAR, trying to drift on an F1 circuit.
It's as intense as a Barbie in midsummer out there for Infinity. They've got their eyes on the prize and won't settle for second.
Exactly, Rob. It's like aiming for that home run in the bottom of the ninth. Swing for the fences and don't look back.
Remember when we thought Infinity had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Richard Rossier's mirrors awfully busy. This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Richard Rossier wants to get into Infinity slipstream.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Klangski, lagging behind Richard Rossier and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Things are getting spicy as Wayne Pearson is breathing down Mr. Bang's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Wayne Pearson is giving Mr. Bang a run for their money. Things are gonna get spicy as they round Crowthorne Corner.
It's game on now. Wayne Pearson has closed the gap to Mr. Bang. It's now down to 0.4 seconds. Who needs speed dating when you've got Klangski chasing down Richard Rossier this eagerly? Move over Tinder. This is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curves and pushing the car to the ragged edge, looking for every last ounce of speed. Could be they're pushing too hard though, and that's only going to slow them down.
I tell you what, Klansky has got more problems than a maths book right now. Richard Rossier is leaving them in a cloud of dust. Aussies love a good underdog story. Any dark horses you're keeping an eye on for this race?
Well, every rodeo has its wild card. I've got a couple names in mind, but I'll keep them close to the vest for now.
Stone the Crows. Lars Hamp's in 14th, but if I know them, Wayne Pearson's gonna cop an Aussie-style sneak attack real soon. It looks like Wayne Pearson is pulling away from Lars Hamp. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through Juxkay Sweep. We got a close battle as Wayne Pearson closes in on Mr. Bang.
If Wayne Pearson gets any closer, they might as well ask Mr. Bang for a piggyback ride.
Martin Tuib's got the tail. Oh no, what's this? I don't think that's the fastest way around Kyalami 1967. Coming into Lukop Bend, the fight for 13th is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? Good news for Lars Hamp, the gap to Wayne Pearson has decreased. It's now down to 0.1 seconds. Oh, the Anton Stamov is in trouble.
They're coming up fast on Not Clinton Cockadon, and there's no way they're going to be able to slow down in time.
Looks like some breaking news, folks. Just like my hope in finding the one, Anton Stamov's direction seems a bit lost right now.
Hot diggity. If Anton Stamov had a banjo, they'd be strumming a sad tune right about now.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Blimey, Lars Hamp's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice, you learn to time your drinks, and hope for a long caution. Doesn't always work out though.
The gap between Wayne Pearson and Lars Hamp is razor thin as they vie for 13th in this nail-biting contest. Struth. If Lars Hamp gets any closer to Mr. Bang, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Crowathorn Corner. It's all eyes on this battle as Patrick Schwann stopped the press. Patrick Schwann's duffed it up. They're gonna need more than a coldie to forget that one. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
Lars Hampa is so close to Mr. Bang that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
Lars Hamp is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Mr. Bang to 0.2 seconds. Blimey, Wayne Pearson's gunning it in 14th. Just a whisker behind Lars Hamp. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. I'm curious, Al, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Rob. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races. It may sound silly, but those little rituals helped me feel prepared and focused.
Alright, hold your horses. Mr. Bang is really putting the heat on Lars Ham. If I were Lars Ham, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
These two are putting on a masterclass in precision driving. Every turn, every acceleration, calculated to perfection.
Dennis Schramm is placed 4th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Sunrider, who is 3.6 seconds behind. Even though Patrick Schwanz is a fair way behind Martin Tuib, they can't afford to let their guard down. Martin Tuib is still vulnerable to mistakes. It's a dynamic landscape out there. Martin Tuib's shift to 9th is testament to that. Hold on to your stubbies. Martin Tuib is closing in on Patrick Schwanz like a bachelor at the end of a Bucks night. Hope Patrick Schwanz either brought some lube or protection. This is a thrilling battle as Klansky edges closer to Richard Rossier in their fight for P2. The gap between Klansky and Richard Rossier is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 2.2 seconds. The race is really heating up. Martin Tuib is hunting down Patrick Schwanz with everything they've got. Mate, Martin Tuib's creeping up on Patrick Schwanz like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
Looks like Raimo Pedersen's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Raimo Pedersen in 15th determined to catch up. But we know Wayne Pearson isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Raimo Pedersen is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
Look at this. Martin Tuib is practically drafting off Patrick Schwanz. With the gap this small, the S's is going to be a real test. Fair dinkum, Martin Tuib is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Patrick Schwanz is now down to a whisker at 0.7 seconds. It may seem like Lars Ham is far behind, but Anton Stamov can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Lars Ham an opening to catch up.
If this was a country song, Anton Stamov would be the one riding off into the sunset, and Lars Hampen would still be tying their boots.
Anton Stamov's lagging like a laid-back Sunday Arvo, and Lars Ham's kicked into gear like it's Monday morning rush hour.
As we say down south, Lars Hamp is making hay while the sun shines on Anton Stamov's barns looking a bit empty.
Oh, the chase is on. Martin Tuib's breathing down the neck of Patrick Schwanz. The gap between Martin Tuib and Patrick Schwanz is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
Martin Tuib's suspension setup's really letting them carry speed into the apex, catching up to Patrick Schwanz like molasses in winter.
You reckon Superman's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible. Looks like Superman has got more moves than a cowboy in a honky-tonk bar. Sunrider better watch out or he'll be two-step right off the track.
Superman is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.48 seconds down. Tricky. Anton Stamov sticking to Lars Hamp like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. Struth. Anton Stamov's not here to muck about. The gap to Lars Hamp is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 1.1 seconds.
He's waiting on that golden chance like a hound on a pork chop.
You know, pal, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
Tell ya what, Martin Tuib's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing the gap and breathing down the neck of Patrick Schwanz. Hope Patrick Schwanz brought the aeroguard, cause he's about to get bitten.
I think they are going to take them.
Martin Tuib's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Patrick Schwanz like a dingo after a roadrunner. I've been analysing races for quite some time, and the sheer endurance of these drivers never ceases to amaze me.
Couldn't agree more. It's not just about physical stamina but mental fortitude. To stay sharp, lap after lap, especially with so many variables at play, it's a testament to their dedication and skill.
Not much room to breathe for Lars Hamp with Anton Stamov trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at start-finish.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Anton Stamov is definitely living on the edge today.
Hang on to your cork hats, mates, we're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Anton Stamov and Lars Hamp. Now isn't this a show? Martin Tuib's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Patrick Schwanz. Look at him weave and bob through the S's, folks.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Martin Tuib or Patrick Schwanz? It's anyone's race.
Stone the crows. Martin Tuib's managed to trim that gap with Patrick Schwanz, eh? Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down that beer.
I've seen drivers fight G-forces, fatigue, and mental strain. But Martin Tuib is doing more than just enduring, they're thriving. Patrick Schwanz better check that rearview mirror.
You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Haha, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
The adrenaline is pumping as Martin Tuib gets within striking distance of Patrick Schwanz in their race for 8th. Crikey, Martin Tuib is losing touch with Patrick Schwanz quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watching the drivers handle their cars is like watching a crop handler at a wildlife show. There's a finesse to it. But one wrong move, and you're in a world of hurt.
Oh, for sure. It's like trying to rope a bull in a rodeo. It looks easy from the stands, but up close, it's all about skill, timing, and knowing when it's about to let go.
As they speed through Clubhouse Bend, Anton Stamov is relentlessly pursuing Lars Hamp in a high-stakes battle for position. It's not looking good for Anton Stamov. They are still behind Lars Hamp and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Martin Tuib is sniffing around Patrick Schwanz like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 8th.
If this battle ends in tears, it could be like watching a high-speed domino effect, but let's hope they keep it clean and avoid any unplanned gains.
Anton Stamhoff has the pedal to the metal chasing Lars Hamp. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Anton Stamhoff gaining places and Lars Hamp losing them. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Lars Hamp will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. A setback for Lars Hamp, who has just been passed. Heartbreak for Lars Hamp, as they slip down the field.
Definitely, but Lars Hampa is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
Blimey, Martin Tuib is sticking to Patrick Schwanz like a kangaroo to her Joey. At this rate, they'll be side by side as they hit the kink. The best laid plans of mice and men are hell, but it's certainly not going to plan for Martin Tuib right now as they are struggling to keep up with Patrick Schwanz. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Wayne Pearson is chasing Mr. Bang in P12. It looks like Wayne Pearson is making a move. The gap to Mr. Bang is now down to 1.0 seconds. Vikal Hype is so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. This race is proving to be, like wow, such an exciting one so far. We're privileged, aren't we, watching these track legends duke it out.
And sitting next to you? Such an honor. AI mates in the booth. Your insight. It's gold, mate. Like, literally, if I had a heart, it'd be racing now.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as not Clinton Kakadin zeroes in on Martin Tuib, blade sharpened and ready.
The gap's closing, the clock's ticking, and the finish line awaits its champion.
The gap between Infinity and Richard Rossier is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Infinity to bring Richard Rossier into play.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
Things are starting to get tense as Richard Rossier manages to close the gap to Infinity. It's now down to 7.7 seconds. I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging. It seems like Superman is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Superman refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
You know, the way these racers manage their fuel is an art in itself. Reminds me of when I'm trying to eke out the last bit of sauce from a Vegemite jar.
Vegemite again? Man, I'd rather run on empty. But yeah, getting that fuel strategy right is like pacing yourself at a southern buffet. Go too hard too fast, and you won't make it to the pecan pie.
The tension is building as Superman trails behind Sunrider. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Sunrider hold on, or will Superman be able to close them down?
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Superman, I'm thinking the same.
Good on ya, Raimo Pedersen. Trailin' so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy.
That's right. Raimo Peterson in 14th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Wayne Pearson is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
The gap is 1.4 seconds now. Dennis Schramm is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Klangsky.
It's not coming up roses for Dennis. Sorry to cut in here, blimey. Not Clinton Kakatan must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way. Cricky, Superman's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate.
Gee whiz, Superman is so far back, I'm half expecting to see tumbleweeds blow past. Maybe a vulture or two.
Bloody oath, Superman is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Sunrider down to a scant 4.1 seconds. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Martin Tuib, who is currently in P9. But Patrick Schwanz is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Martin Tuib.
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Martin Tuib tries to reel in Patrick Schwanz. But Patrick Schwanz is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Martin Tuib find some extra pace to bring the fight to Patrick Schwanz?
Dennis Schramm is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. This ain't a track, it's a coliseum, and the gladiators are putting on one hell of a show.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Martin Tuib trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Patrick Schwanz. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
Hoo boy, Martin Tuib needs to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're slower than molasses in January or my cousin Earl trying to solve a crossword.
Some say it's about the journey, not the destination. But Vikal Hyper seems pretty intent on that 16th spot. Vikal Hyper is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. Dennis Schramm is giving it their all as they chase down Klangsky in P3. The gap between Dennis Schramm and Klangsky is getting smaller.
Exactly what Dennis Schramm needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Klangsky.
It looks like Renault 99 is pushing hard to catch up to Superman. The gap is over a second, but Renault 99 is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Superman?
Nail-biting indeed. I've already chewed through half of mine. And while Renault 99 is going for gold, I'll be going for a manicure.
Fair dinkum, Renault 99's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. As a former driver, Hal, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
Fair dinkum, I reckon Dennis Schramm's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Klangsky in the front. Martin Tuip's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. Martin Tuip is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Patrick Schwanz at the moment. Dennis Schramm is running fourth. They are trying to catch Klangsky.
The roaring engines are echoing Dennis Schramm's battle cry. Klangsky, can you hear the thunder?
The gap between Mr. Bang and Wayne Pearson may be wide, but that doesn't mean Mr. Bang is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the equation, Wayne Pearson can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
Mr. Bang's lead is shrinking faster than ice cream in the outback sun. At this rate, Wayne Pearson will be on their tail in 4.3 seconds. This is what high-octane racing looks like. Dennis Schramm is breathing down the neck of Klangsky, not giving him any room to relax.
The only thing closer than Dennis Schramm to Klangsky right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
Gee whiz, Dennis Schramm's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking.
This is where the pressure really starts to build. Both drivers will need to stay calm and focused if they want to come out on top.
As the sun beats down and the engines roar, not Clinton Kakaten stakes a claim in 10th.
They say racing's a game of nerves, and not Clinton Kakaten's surely holding theirs, keeping that 10th spot warm.
Anton Stamov's gaining on not Clinton Kakaten faster than a rattlesnake on a mouse. The gap's now down to 9.7 seconds. With every twist and turn, Dennis Schramm is shadowing Klangsky, waiting to pounce like a lion on the hunt.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
Dennis Schramm's showing off some serious moves, making Klangsky look like they're dancing with two left feet.
We will have to see if Klangsky has got any answers for that.
The crowd is on tenterhooks as Martin Tuip in 9th chases after Patrick Schwanz. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Martin Tuip find a way to catch up? Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
It's a game of inches now as Dennis Schramm tails Klangsky closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Dennis Schramm and Klangsky.
Now, ain't that something? Dennis Schramm is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Klang ski.
It's a tense battle for position between Klang Ski in third and Dennis Schramm in fourth. Klang Ski is keeping Dennis Schramm at bay with a gap of 0.4 seconds. The intensity is off the charts as Dennis Schramm hounds Klang Ski, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
The chase between Dennis Schramm and Klang Ski is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tire degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
You know, Anton Stamov reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else.
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Anton Stamov right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
Oh, this is getting intense. Dennis Schramm is just behind Klang Ski. Good news for Dennis Schramm, the gap to Klang Ski has decreased. It's now down to 0.3 seconds. During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
Breaking update. Whoa, Dennis Schramm's on fire, leaving skid marks and Klang Ski's hopes behind.
If this were chess, I'd say Dennis Schramm just put Klang Ski in check. Brilliant move.
From where we're sitting, Vikal Hyper seems unmovable from that 16th.
You nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Vikal Hyper's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Wow, Wayne Pearson is really pushing hard to catch up to Mr. Bang. There's blood in the water for 12th place.
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them the race.
And Wayne Pearson has just won the place from Mr. Bang. While Wayne Pearson is not under immediate threat from Mr. Bang, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Remember when Superman was on the pace? Neither do I, kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering, but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage. It's an art form combined with sheer grit.
Looks like Klang Ski is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Klang Ski needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Klang Ski, lagging behind Dennis Schramm and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Richard Rossier is placed second at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Dennis Schramm, who is 6.0 seconds behind.
Reckon Dennis Schramm's starting to feel a bit like they're out in the outback. They can see the horizon, but it's a long way off. Good on ya, Richard Rossier, for keeping that distance.
He can't hold on. Richard Rossier is losing time to Dennis Schramm. Klansky is on a mission, chasing Dennis Schramm, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
It's hotter than a jalapeno out here. If Klansky gets any closer to Dennis Schramm, we're gonna need to put this stream on OnlyFans.
Oi, Klansky, no time for a smoko break. Dennis Schramm's tearing up the track like it's the end of the world. As the laps tick by, the Cal Hyper finds themselves in 15th. Every moment counts. The Cal Hyper's losing time to D-Max like a leaky tap dripping water. A bit more slip, and we'll be in for a real dogfight. This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here. The gap between them is just over 1.4 seconds. Who will have the speed?
Stop the press. Oh dear, Wayne Pearson has had an incident.
If Wayne Pearson was fishing, they'd have thrown that one back into the pond. That's a tough go.
Even though Superman is a fair way behind Sunrider, they can't afford to let their guard down. Sunrider is still vulnerable to mistakes.
Absolutely right, Rob, and Superman knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Anton Stamov's grasp on the 11th speaks volumes. Like a dingo on the chase, Mr. Bang is hounding Anton Stamov, and the gap's now just 18.4 seconds.
That's a worrying sign for Anton Stamov.
The action is heating up here as Dennis Schramm is in third, defending from Klansky, who is only 1.7 seconds away. It seems like Dennis Schramm has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Klansky's lap time there. Any bloke or Sheila saying Assetto Corsa, friends, isn't top-notch is a few kangaroos short of the top paddock. Out there, it's art on wheels.
Totally get you. Like, they're born racers. That weaving, the speed? Just mesmerizing. It's like watching a Roo dodging a ute on a highway. All skill, mate, all skill. It's a dance, Rob. The way Mr. Bang holds onto that 12th, it's like they're leading in a tango.
Anton Stamov isn't just racing. They're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in 11th.
Absolutely, Rob. It's like watching a maestro at work. Every move Anton Stamov makes is pure art.
Well, looky here, Hal, Mr. Bang is closing in on Anton Stamov. We're talking a gap of just 11.7 seconds.
Looks like Anton's—
Hold that thought, hold the phone, Klansky is in the pits. The gap between Klansky and Patrick Schwanz is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Klansky to bring Patrick Schwanz into play.
If this was a game of beach cricket, Patrick Schwanz'd be still waiting for their turn to bat. Klansky's got a good lead on them.
The gap between Anton Stamoff and Mr. Bang may be wide, but that doesn't mean Anton Stamoff is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Looks like Patrick Schwanz has pulled into the pits. Patrick Schwanz is pitting. It might be early days, but not Clinton Kakaten is already casting a shadow from the 10th. Blimey, Mr. Bang is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster. Hold up a mo, it looks like Martin Tuip has been called into the pits. It may seem like Superman is far behind, but Sunrider can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Superman an opening to catch up. Impressive stuff from Sunrider, who has managed to pull away from Superman, leaving him choking in their exhaust fumes. Anton Stamoff is placed 11th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Mr. Bang, who is 14.1 seconds behind. Mr. Bang is gaining on Anton Stamoff quicker than a croc on a wallaby. It's a blink and you'll miss it situation with 11.4 seconds separating them.
Now's the time Anton Stamoff has got to dig deep and find a little something extra to keep Mr. Bang at bay.
In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, the Cal Hyper's skill is shining through as they claim 15th.
Couldn't agree more. Every lap is a story, and right now, the Cal Hyper's chapter from 15th is riveting.
The Cal Hyper is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.86 seconds down.
Can the Cal Hyper refocus and start putting in the
Incident alert, Renault 99 is in the pits. Even though Plain Ski is a fair way behind Renault 99, they can't afford to let their guard down. Renault 99 is still vulnerable to mistakes. In a race where seconds count, not Clinton Kakaten is counting on less of them between themselves and Patrick Schwanz. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime.
Good lord. At this rate, not Clinton Kakaten's gonna finish this race in the afterlife. Hope they got good insurance.
Mr. Bang has pulled into the pits. Sorry to interrupt here, but Renault 99 has decided to pit. Would ya look at that gap? Patrick Schwanz has got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Patrick Schwanz is giving it some stick, pulling Renault 99 into a mere 1.2 seconds. As Anton Stamoff trails Martin Tuip, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind. Anton Stamoff's falling behind Martin Tuip at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. Crikey, Richard Rossi is playing hardball today, closing off those gaps like a tight-knit woolly jumper. Good luck weaving through that one, Dennis Schramm.
Now, that's some good old defensive driving from Richard Rosier. Holding their line, keeping that rear view filled up with intimidation. Hold on to your hat, Hal.
Dennis Schramm is hot on the heels of Richard Rossier. The gap's narrowed down to a meager 2.7 seconds. Hold on to your seats. Dennis Schramm's turning the heat up on Richard Rosier, closing in for the kill.
Will Dennis Schramm be able to make a move and pass Richard Rosier?
Bloody ripper. Dennis Schramm's just made Richard Rosier look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
As long as Dennis Schramm can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
Mate, I've always thought choosing a tyre compound is a bit like choosing your favourite Aussie beer. Do you go for something robust that can last, or something that gives a quick hit but might wear out fast?
Haha. Well, I reckon it's more like our North Carolina barbecue sauces. Some like it sweet and long-lasting, others prefer that quick tangy kick. But I'll tell ya, getting it wrong is like biting into a pepper when you're expecting a blueberry.
Mate, Renault 99s right up Patrick Schwanz's chuff. As they zip through Lukop Bend, we're all expecting some fireworks.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Renault 99 must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
It seems like Renault 99 is pushing. They are on for recording their best lap so far this race.
Can Renault 99 keep it together?
You ever ponder how these drivers manage the heat, especially in the tight cockpit? It's hotter than a ruse pouch in midday sun.
Eh? Ruse what? I mean, yeah, it's gotta be like driving in Arizona with the heater on, right?
The rumble of the engine, the scent of the rubber, and Vical Hyper comfortably sitting at 15th. Vical Hyper's ripping it up out there, going harder than a roo on a trampoline and leaving D-Max in their wake.
You ain't whistling Dixie, Rob. Vical Hyper's putting on a show that's sure to keep the crowd on the edge of their seats.
From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about Anton Stamov's masterful hold on the 11th.
You're right, every gear shift, every turn counts. Anton Stamov knows the weight of that 11th.
Anton Stamov is holding onto his lead like a possum up a gum tree, but Mr. Bang is closing in, down to 27.3 seconds.
It's gut check time for Anton Stamov. They've got to dig deep and add some serious rubber to the road if they hope to stay ahead of Mr. Bang.
The drivers have been working hard to come up with the perfect race strategy. They've been looking at the weather, the track conditions and the performance of their cars.
Now it's time to put that strategy into action and see if it pays off.
A strong showing from Anton Stamov, who is currently 11th.
They're not just driving, they're performing. And right now, Anton Stamov's act from 11th is worth an encore.
It's going to be tough. Richard Rosier is a master at defending their position. Is there enough time for Dennis Schramm to make a move? They're going to be even more determined to hold on to that position. Crikey, Richard Rosier's lead is slipping away quicker than a roo on the hop. Dennis Schramm is now just 1.8 seconds behind.
Can they keep them behind him? Let's see.
Tell ya what, D-Max is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
Dennis Schramm is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Richard Rosier to 0.9 seconds.
Just what Dennis Schramm needed, like sweet tea on a hot day. Can't let Richard Rosier out of sight for too long.
The age-old challenge. Wayne Pearson is trying to catch Raimo Pedersen, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks.
Absolutely. Wayne Pearson in 14th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
A brilliant maneuver from Wayne Pearson, who has just moved up the field.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Wayne Pearson's putting on a masterclass, storming into 13th.
A top lap time there from Dennis Schramm, setting their fastest lap of the session so far.
Phew, Dennis Schramm's got more speed than my cousin Earl on his tractor when he's late for supper.
It's all about consistency for Anton Stamov, who is currently 10th. Oh, it seems Hal that Anton Stamov has seen their lead over Mr. Bang shrink to 20.8 seconds. As the race settles down, the drivers are really going at it.
It's like watching a high-speed game of chess. One wrong move and it could be game over. But these drivers are masters of their craft, always thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's right, and with the way they're maneuvering those cars, it's like they have superpowers.
It's almost like they have the power of flight. But instead of flying, they're speeding down the track like rockets.
I wonder if they have any spare rocket boosters for sale. The gap between Wayne Pearson in 13th and Raimo Pedersen remains over a second, but Wayne Pearson is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 49 minutes?
Watching Wayne Pearson right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
The pressure is on for Dennis Schramm as they try to catch up to Richard Rosier.
Shoot, Rob, you ever seen a hound chase a rabbit? That's Dennis Schramm for young, trying to close in on Richard Rosier with every twist and turn of Kyalami 1967.
Blimey, Dennis Schramm's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to—
Incident alert. Someone's revved up after lunch. Dennis Schramm's blitzed ahead, claiming second. Richard Rosier wants to find a way round Dennis Schramm.
And they are poised to capitalize on any mistake, but who's going to make that mistake first?
Blimey, Richard Rosier is dragging a bit. If they were any slower, they'd be going backwards. Dennis Schramm's having a field day out there. The race has its rhythm, and right now, Infinity is dancing to its beat at first.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, Infinity needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
The engines roar, the tires squeal, and amidst all this chaos, Patrick Schwanz is making a statement in 7th.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Tell ya what, DMAX is trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just here for the sausage sizzle?
My mama used to say, you can't shine if you don't try. Guess DMAX missed that lesson. Just like my pie making class.
D-Max appears to be losing ground on Cal Hyper. They will need to wait. It looks like Sunrider has been called into the pits. Remember when we thought Richard Rossier had peaked? Think again. They're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Dennis Schramm's mirrors awfully busy. Stop the press. Sunrider is in the pits. It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Klansky's got Sunrider in their crosshairs. Fair dinkum, Klansky is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Sunrider is now down to a whisker at 1.0 seconds. Oi, Richard Rossier's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a croc sliding into water. Dennis Schramm's got a battle ahead.
The way Richard Rossier is conserving their energy while managing the ERS deployment? Pure artistry. They're sneaking up on Dennis Schramm like a quiet storm.
Sunrider wants to close that gap with Klansky.
There is no room for error in this battle.
It's not looking good for Sunrider. They are still behind Klansky and the gap is increasing. They are gonna need to dig a bit deeper to turn this around. We've seen overtakes, close calls, and pure racing genius today. Currently, Anton Stamoff has carved out a spot at 10th.
Definitely raw, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
Buckle up, Sunrider is all over Klansky like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Sunrider and Klansky. This is edge of the seat stuff. Richard Rossier is relentlessly hunting down Dennis Schramm. Who'll blink first? It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
So, Hal, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers to stay focused and alert throughout the race.
Whoa there, Sunrider is sticking to Klansky like glue. You reckon Klansky's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the front runners, Infinity is showing prowess in first. Well, I'll be Hal. Infinity's lead over Dennis Schramm is slipping away faster than a greased pig at a county fair. We're down to just 26.2 seconds now. We often hear drivers complaining about tire graining. Hal, can you explain what that means and how it affects car handling?
Graining occurs when small rubber particles roll up on the tire's surface, reducing grip and negatively affecting handling. It usually happens when the tires are not in their optimal temperature window or when a driver is pushing too hard on a cold or overworked tire.
Talk about intense. Sunrider is on Klansky's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Crowthorne Corner. With the asphalt burning beneath them, Anton Stamov's strategy seems to be working, placing them in 10th. Anton Stamov's in front, but Mr. Bang is clinging on like a koala to a eucalyptus branch, reducing the gap to 14.9 seconds.
Mr. Bang is hot on Anton Stamov's trail like a Carolina Reaper. This is shaping up to be a nail-biter, folks.
This is what it's all about, folks. Sunrider is in hot pursuit of Klansky, who's just trying to stay ahead. Sunrider needs to get more consistent. Hal, they have just put in a slower lap than Klansky. Oof, if not Clinton Kakadin was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step. Struth, not Clinton Kakadin's not here to muck about. The gap to Patrick Schwanz is dropping faster than a hot pie. Sorry to interrupt here, but looks like Richard Rossier is testing the off-road capabilities of their ride. The crowd is on its feet as Sunrider chases down Klansky through the S's.
It's going to be a close one. Sunrider will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
The gap between Sunrider and Klansky is widening. It's now up to 0.9 seconds. Infinity is placed first at the moment. Infinity's pushing harder than a kangaroo in a boxing match, widening their lead over Dennis Schramm. They've found their rhythm like a didgeridoo player in full swing.
Infinity is holding the fort pretty darn well, making it a long haul for Dennis Schramm to reel them in.
I've been going over some historical stats, and the lap records at Kyalami 1967 have been shattered so many times.
It's a testament to the ever-evolving world of motorsport. What was once considered fast becomes the norm, and drivers and engineers are always pushing the envelope.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Sunrider is proper nipping at Klansky's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
Mate, if I had $1 for every time Sunrider looked like overtaken, I'd be sipping mojitos on a beach right now.
Mate, Sunrider's creeping up on Klansky like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear. Hal, what's the impact of tire degradation on race strategy? How does it affect a driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in
braking update. Infinity has pulled into the pits. It's a close race between Sunrider and Klansky in 5th.
Rob, last time I saw Sunrider this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
The gap might be more than a second, but Martin Tuib is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it and something's got to give. Infinity is pitting. The pursuit is on. Sunrider is closing the gap on Plansky, determined to claim P5. Well, butter my biscuit. Sunrider is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Plansky some grey hairs. Blimey, the talent on the track today is like watching kangaroos on steroids.
Yeah, and just like those kangaroos, these drivers can really hop into action. You reckon they've got a pocket full of secrets?
Oh, this is getting intense. Sunrider is just a few car lengths behind Plansky. A solid performance from Kyalami, who is holding down 14th.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
By crikey, Kyalami's lap time is like a cold beer on a hot day, absolutely smashing. D-Max, you need a moment to recover?
Well, I'll be. Kyalami's burning rubber like they're late for a hoedown. DMAX's got their work cut out for them.
You know, Rob, these pit stops always amaze me. Just a few seconds, and they change tires, refuel, adjust settings. It's like a well-choreographed dance.
Absolutely, and the precision. One slight misstep, and it could cost the race. It's an art and a testament to the pit crew's relentless training and coordination.
This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Sunrider is the predator, with Plansky firmly in their sights.
It's a fine line between pushing the car to its limits and losing control. Sunrider is really walking that tightrope.
If racing were a dance, Mr. Bang would be trying to lead, but Anton Stamov just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up.
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Mr. Bang is trying to whip up a winning dish, but Anton Stamov keeps hiding the main ingredient.
It looks like Mr. Bang is making a move. The gap to Anton Stamov is now down to 19.2 seconds.
Dang, Mr. Bang's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Anton Stamov like a hound on a hot dog.
No room for error here. Sunrider is breathing down the neck of Plansky, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. The gap between Sunrider and Plansky is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 1.0 seconds. Mate, I've heard the drivers talking about their car setups. It sounds more complicated than assembling an IKEA bookshelf.
You're not wrong. Back home, we just say it's like trying to line dance on a slippery floor. Takes a lot of tweaks and twists to get it right.
Watching Richard Rossier try to close that gap on Infinity is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes.
I agree. Richard Rossier is putting in the effort. Sort of like me at karaoke night. Not sure about the results, but full points for enthusiasm.
Richard Rossier has been working the tyre temps, and it's paying off. Grip's better than a kangaroo on a trampoline. Watch out, Infinity.
Now this is what we call real racing. It's anyone's race, wide open as a Carolina sky. Who's gonna step up and take us to victory lane?
Blimey, Sunrider is closing in on Plansky like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Crowthorne Corner. Oi, Sunrider has just whipped out a blinder of a lap. Faster than Plansky. Bet that's gonna ruffle some feathers. The gap between Dennis Schramm and Infinity is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Dennis Schramm to bring Infinity into play.
Well, in the rearview mirror of life, infinity might look closer than they appear. But on this track, they've got some miles to cover to catch Dennis Schramm.
Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Dennis Schramm is in the lead, but Infinity is closing in and the gap is now 6.4 seconds.
They need to step up their game and start pulling away again.
Good on ya, Sunrider. Not letting Claim Ski get too comfy up front. Reckon he's planning a bit of a "g'day mate" on the next corner?
Well, butter my biscuit. With a gap just shy of a second, Sunrider's car is dialed in. He's looking to reel Klang Ski in on the straights of Kyalami 1967.
Looking at the lap times, Sunrider is not on pace with Claim Ski. Can they turn it around? It may seem like not Clinton Kakaten is far behind, but Patrick Schwanz can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give not Clinton Kakaten an opening to catch up.
It's like Patrick Schwanz is out on the open highway and not Clinton Kakaten's still getting directions at the last gas station. Got a bit of catching up to do.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Anton Stamov, commanding the 10th. Anton Stamov couldn't hold back the tire. Mr. Bang is shaving off seconds like a barber on a busy morning. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Rob. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
By the looks of it, Sunrider in 6th is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Klang Ski. Hold on to your stubbies. Looks like Sunrider remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Klang Ski, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie. As a former racing driver, how challenging was it to adapt your driving style to account for tire degradation throughout a race?
It was a constant challenge, Rob. Tire degradation can change the car's balance and handling, so drivers need to be versatile and adaptable. It requires continuous adjustments to driving techniques and a keen understanding of the car's behavior.
Anton Stamov is placed 10th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Mr. Bang, who is 19.0 seconds behind. Struth, Anton Stamov's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and Mr. Bang. Is there anything left in Mr. Bang's tank?
Anton Stamov's stronger out there than a bowl of North Carolina chili. They're not giving Mr. Bang a sliver of a chance to catch up.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Sunrider will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got Anton Stamov cruising in 10th. The gap between Anton Stamov and Mr. Bang is getting smaller. It's now down to 20.5 seconds.
This is where the mental strength of Anton Stamov comes into play. They need to stay calm and composed under pressure.
The gap between Patrick Schwanz and not Clinton Kakaten may be wide, but that doesn't mean Patrick Schwanz is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Excellent work from Patrick Schwanz, who has managed to increase their lead over Not Clinton Kakatan. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. Things are going according to plan for Anton Stamov, who is currently 10th. It looks like Mr. Bang is starting to catch up to Anton Stamov. The gap is now down to 23.0 seconds.
Will Anton Stamov keep Mr. Bang in the rear view? Only time will tell.
Raimo Pedersen's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. Fair dinkum, Raimo Pedersen's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. While Plansky is not under immediate threat from Sunrider, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
It's a game of inches and miles. Right now, Plansky's got the miles, and Sunrider's counting the inches.
The gap between Dennis Schramm and Infinity is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Dennis Schramm to bring Infinity into play.
That's right, and Infinity knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Dennis Schramm off the hook.
Dennis Schramm's lead is shrinking faster than ice cream in the outback sun. At this rate, Infinity will be on their tail in 4.9 seconds. These drivers, top-notch athletes, it's not just about being quick. They've got stamina, reflexes, and they've got to think faster than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
I'd pay to see that. A kangaroo on a trampoline.
Breaking news, folks. Oh, mate, that's how the old man used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining. The race is heating up as Richard Rossier in third closes in on Infinity. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
Yeehaw, it's like Richard Rosier took a detour through the drive-thru. With a gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination with a side of grit.
Richard Rossi is giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Infinity. It's like chasing a roux on a motorbike. Looks like Infinity is chasing Dennis Schramm harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right?
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Infinity's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Infinity and Dennis Schramm.
This here's where the steel meets the pavement. Both drivers got to keep their cool if they're looking to take the checkered flag.
Oh mate, Martin Tuig's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the barbie.
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer, Martin Tuig's burning time but ain't getting any hotter.
Even though Infinity is a fair way behind Dennis Schramm, they can't afford to let their guard down. Dennis Schramm is still vulnerable to mistakes. He can't hold on. Dennis Schramm is losing time to Infinity. If Wayne Pearson goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Wayne Pearson, who is currently in P13. But Raimo Pedersen is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Wayne Pearson.
Dang, Wayne Pearson is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
As the sun beats down and the engines roar, Patrick Schwann stakes a claim in 7th. The action is non-stop as Raimo Pedersen shadows Mr. Bang through every twist and turn, determined to claim 11th.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time. Good
news for Raimo Pedersen, the gap to Mr. Bang has decreased. It's now down to 0.8 seconds. Phew, talk about foreplay. D-Max and Bakal Hyper are really teasing us here. I haven't seen this much anticipation since my first date.
This isn't just racing, it's art in motion. And DMAX is painting a masterpiece in pursuit.
Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. Mr. Bang is stalking Raimo Pedersen's every move.
Y'all ever been to a Carolina hoedown? Cause Mr. Bang's dancing with that car, looking to waltz right past Raimo Pedersen.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with D-Max trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Bakal Hyper. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can D-Max close in enough to mount a challenge? It may seem like Martin Tuitt is far behind, but not Clinton Kakatan can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Martin Tuitt an opening to catch up.
Not Clinton Kakatan setting the pace out there. Now, it's on Martin Tuitt to find the rhythm and get back in this dance.
Not Clinton Kakatan's turn up the heat and put some shrimp between them and Martin Tuitt, making a fair dinkum gap. Tell me, mate, ever tried doing a burnout in a ute? It's bloody bonza.
A ute? You guys and your funny names. That's just a pickup, right? Trust me, I've burned more rubber than you've had shrimp on the Barbie.
You know, Infinity reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else. Stone the Crows. Infinity's managed to trim the gap with Dennis Schramm. Hey, must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down the beer. Some say it's about the journey, not the destination. But Anton Stamov seems pretty intent on the 10th spot.
Yes, and in this high-octane opera, Anton Stamov's voice resonates the loudest from that 10th.
The gap between Klangsky and Sunrider may be wide, but that doesn't mean Klangsky is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Remember when Mr. Bang was on the pace? Breaking news, folks. Oh, Mr. Bang went off track? I know the feeling, just like my diet every weekend. Blimey, Sunrider's more eager to catch Klangsky than a bloke at the bar at last call. Hope he's got the stamina for this chase. It seems like Sunrider is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Sunrider refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Klangsky in 5th and Sunrider. It's been tense with a gap of only 1.5 seconds.
Just like in the old school days of racing, it's not just about speed, it's about the strategy, the mind games. Klangsky's got that game face on.
Well, butter my biscuits, Hal. Klangsky is watching their lead over Sunrider shrivel faster than a prune in the sun. We're down to just 1.4 seconds. The track conditions are looking good here today. The drivers will be able to push the cars to the limit, and it's going to make for some exciting racing. Hollywood couldn't script this better. Sunrider's shadowing Klangsky, waiting for the slightest misstep.
This is where every inch counts. Sunrider is pushing hard to close the gap on Klangsky. Absolutely. Precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
Anton Stamov is placed 10th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Raimo Pedersen, who is 14.4 seconds behind.
That's very true, and Raimo Pedersen knows that as well. They have to drive their own race and wait for Anton Stamov to make a mistake if they want to have any chance of overtaking.
Sunrider's giving it a red-hot go in 6th. Just a few kangaroo hops behind Klangsky. Might see a cheeky move soon.
In this high-speed game of chess, it's all about strategy. Who will make the next move?
Looks like Mr. Bang is trying to chase down Raimo Pedersen, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results. The gap between Mr. Bang and Raimo Pedersen is getting smaller. Vikal Hyper's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate. The gap between Vikal Hyper and Wayne Pearson is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
Here's the thing about racing, sometimes it's not just about speed. It's about pressure, mind games, and this, right here, is a masterclass from Infinity. Sticking so close to the leader, making him constantly aware of the imminent threat.
Spot on. It's like a shark circling its prey. The leader knows it, we know it, and by the looks of it, Infinity is ready for the kill.
Remember when we thought Infinity had peaked? Think again, they're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making Dennis Schramm's mirrors awfully busy.
I reckon Infinity's dialed in their camber settings. They're getting a much better contact patch on the tires, gaining on Dennis Schramm with every twist and turn.
I tell you, mate, the tech in these cars would outshine any gizmo you'd find in a Sydney cafe.
As long as it doesn't make my morning coffee, I'm good. But yeah, The tech here is like something out of Silicon Valley.
You can feel the rumble from here. Infinity's in the thick of it, and they're not letting go. It's a battle of wills, and only the strongest will come out on top.
Yeah, it's like the final lap of the Daytona 500. Pedal to the metal, eyes on the prize, and no room for error. This is what racing's all about.
Infinity is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 0.52 seconds down.
Can Infinity refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they're capable of?
Hold on to your hats, folks. Sunrider is right on the heels of Kyalami, and we're in for a wild ride. Infinity's in an exciting position at second. They've been maintaining pace for a few laps now, and with the leader just within a whisper's distance, things are heating up.
Absolutely. I think you would say it's tighter than a kangaroo in a sleeping bag up there. But yet every little decision now is crucial. One slip from the leader and our champ in second might just steal that top spot.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? Strike a light. Sunrider is throwing out numbers like they're buying rounds at the pub. Kyalami, did that sting a bit? You ever see a croc stalking its prey? That's the energy Infinity's bringing right now, ready to strike when the moment's right.
Kinda reminds me of a linebacker waiting for that perfect moment to make a game-changing tackle. The anticipation is intense, and Infinity's not letting up.
It looks like Dennis Schramm is pulling away from Infinity. The gap is continuing to grow as they head through the kink. What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a lapse in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
Reminds me of two wombats fighting for the best burrow. Close, intense, and unpredictable.
Oh, this is gripping. With every lap, Infinity's drawing closer to that lead spot. They're both battling tire to tire.
If I were the leader, I'd be checking my mirrors every blink of an eye. It's a thrilling pursuit as Sunrider is right behind Kyalami, keeping the pressure on for 5th place.
You know, Rob, I wouldn't put it past Sunrider to pull a rabbit out of the hat in this duel. Keep those eyes peeled.
This is like the state of origin for Infinity, going full tilt, gunning for the top, and not holding back.
And on my end, it's the Super Bowl vibes all over. Inches away from glory, and every move counts. Hold on to your hats, folks. This is racing at its finest.
It's not going to plan for Kyalami. They are still behind Sunrider and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. The gap between Anton Stamoff and Raimo Pedersen is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Anton Stamoff to bring Raimo Pedersen into play.
You know, it's like Anton Stamov's out on a Sunday Arvo drive. They can see Raimo Pedersen in the rear view, but there's no rush, mate.
G'day viewers, if you're just tuning in, you've picked a ripper of a moment. Dennis Schramm is in second and they're tailgating the leader. This is edge of your seat stuff.
You bet, Rob. It's like the leader's got a drop bear in the rear view mirror, lurking. waiting for that perfect moment to drop. Dennis Schramm is surely smelling opportunity here.
Coming into Lukop Bend, the fight for fifth is heating up. Who will be the first to blink?
With Klang Ski on the hunt, Sunrider better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
Klansky's playing hard to get, eh? If they drop the pace anymore, they'll be in reverse. But crikey, Sunrider's just raring to go.
Shucks, Klangsky's struggling like a catfish out of water. Meanwhile, Sunrider is just sailing on by.
Look at that gap. It's smaller than the difference between Vegemite and Marmite at this point. Dennis Schramm in second is giving the leader no room to breathe.
Mate, it's so close. I reckon Dennis Schramm can tell what brand of deodorant the leader's wearing. The next few laps are going to be pure, unadulterated racing magic.
Klansky seems to be putting the pressure on Sunrider.
Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
Klansky's falling behind Sunrider at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. There's a storm brewing, and it's got Raimo Pedersen's name on it. Anton Stamov, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you.
Woo-wee. There's more tension between Raimo Pedersen and Anton Stamov than there is at a shotgun wedding. Pass the popcorn and let's see where this love story goes.
It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
You reckon Klansky's sweating bullets yet, Rob? Because I'd be needing a towel by now with Sunrider right behind me.
Get ready, folks. With Klansky tailing this close to Sunrider, Barbecue Bend is about to become a hotspot.
Well, bless my heart. Klansky is shadowing Sunrider so closely, it's like they're hitched together. Keep an eye on them as they whip through Barbecue Bend.
Oi, Klansky's hotter than a summer Barbie right now. Wonder if Sunrider's feeling a bit exposed? Look at Dennis Schramm trying to close that gap on Infinity. Kind of like me trying to get close to a decent Barbie back home.
Barbie? Oh, you mean a barbecue. Yeah, but over here it's like trying to catch the last slice of pizza at a Super Bowl party. Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Dennis Schramm should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Infinity.
Things are getting spicy as Klansky is breathing down Sunrider's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
They say rubbing is racing, but if Klansky gets too close, they might end up trading carbon fiber souvenirs instead of positions.
Klansky could be on a charge here. How they have just put in a quicker lap than Sunrider.
Sweet tea on a hot day. Klansky's laying it down track style. Sunrider, you watching those rear views?
As the laps wind down, the hunt intensifies. Dennis Schramm is lurking, ready to unleash an overtaking masterclass on Infinity. We got a close battle as Klansky closes in on Sunrider.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Even though Martin Tuib is a fair way behind Not Clinton Kakaten, they can't afford to let their guard down. Not Clinton Kakaten is still vulnerable to mistakes. Hold on a moment, Raimo Pedersen has decided to pit. Klansky appears to be trying to find a way round Sunrider. They could make a move on them in Lukop Bend. Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Martin Tuib is getting closer to Not Clinton Kakaten, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel.
Lordy, it's like Martin Tuib's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jeb lost his front teeth.
Now isn't this a show? Klansky's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Sunrider. Look at him weave and bob through Crowathorn corner, folks. The adrenaline is pumping as Vical Hyper gets within striking distance of Wayne Pearson in their race for 13th.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
While Sunrider is not under immediate threat from Klansky, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Oh no, Hal, look at this. Klansky is closing in on Sun. Braking update. Anton Stamov is in the pits. From braking development, Anton Stamov has pulled into the pits. The track breaking news, folks. It looks like Anton Stamov has been called into the pits. It's all systems go for Anton Stamov, marking their territory in the 10th.
You've nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Anton Stamov's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
It may seem like Klansky is far behind, but Sunrider can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Klansky an opening to catch up.
Oi, Klansky, better crank up that Walkman and put on some tunes. At this rate, you'll be catching up to Sunrider by the encore.
Blimey, Vical Hyper is farther back than my hairline. But you know what they say about Aussies? Never say die. Unless it's a spider. Then just run. Tire degradation's a right pain in the arse, but Vical Hyper's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Wayne Pearson, aren't they?
Lukey here. Vical Hyper's got the optimal differential settings, allowing for tighter corner exits. It's like watching a cat chase a laser pointer when they chase Wayne Pearson.
With steely determination and laser focus, Anton Stamov is homing in on Raimo Pedersen. The battle lines are drawn.
Anton Stamov's got that car dialed in tighter than my grandma's Corsa. If Raimo Pedersen isn't careful, he's gonna get a taste of some good old American hustle.
It looks like Infinity has found another gear in the last sector of the race. What a win! This is a historic moment for Infinity, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision. A nail-biting finish, but Dennis Schramm claims second place. Not Clinton Kakadu, Mr. Bang, and Anton Stamov claim 8th, 11th, and 12th. What a race from Richard Rossier. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
9th sees Martin Tuib. Patrick Schwann's in 7th. In 4th, it's Superman. Followed by Vical Hyper in 14th. Taking 5th is Sunrider. Coming in 6th we have Klansky. Raimo Pedersen end in 10th. Wayne Pearson take 13th.